Now, Edwin, what would have to happen for you to come back and say, well, Francisco, you were right. Trump was the same, wasn't really,
Another enemy.
and it's the same thing. It wasn't a real ally of Israel.
Well, first of all, there's a huge misunderstanding here. I never said that Trump was going to dismantle the CIA. He's not dismantling the CIA. What he's doing is he's depoliticizing it and taking the CIA out of the political intrigues and trying to manipulate the US government. And that's being done by putting in his own disruptor. Notice that word disruptor, Radcliffe as head of CIA, and Tulsi Gabbard. Second, if the CIA is being redirected, I'm not sure if you know this, but 48 hours ago, the CIA began flying secret drones over Mexico, attempting to identify the location of the cartels. U.S. Special Forces are ready on Mexican soil, working with Mexican Special Forces, and we'll see what happens as he continues to try to target the Mexican cartels. Now, it's important to understand that Trump is not a Democrat and Trump is not a Republican. Trump is not a conservative and Trump is not a liberal. He's not a progressive. I'll be honest with you. He's just Trump. The Republican Party is the Trump Party. All those Republicans are either been sidelined or in the or been expelled from the party. So Trump is unique. He's his own force of nature. Now, what would I like to see? What I would like to see is on three levels. One, the Israel level. Israel needs 5 things, and if it gets those 5 things, it will destroy the Iranian nuclear program. Those 5 things are approved, and they're coming to Israel. It's not in one shipment of MK-82 bunker busters. It's a lot of stuff, and I will judge Trump by whether the U.S. supports Israel by doing a few things which I can't discuss in taking down the Iranian nuclear establishment. And let's use the word weeks and months, not years, okay? Let's use the word weeks and months. We could even say days. Second, I need anti-Semitism in its most vile application to be, excuse me, let me go on the Israel point again. Israel must have its QME, that's the qualitative military edge, and that has been subverted by the Biden administration, Jew haters, stem to stern. I need to go back. This idea that Francisco gave about the CIA budget, along with the NRO budget, National Reconnaissance Office, and NSA, is in a giant budget, the single largest budget line in the United States, and it's called the black budget. That means no one can see what's in it, okay? So the CIA must exist, and whether you call the CIA the OSS, the Office of Special Services, or whatever it is, the CIA must exist. But it must exist for the good of the American society and ipso facto for Israel and the Jews. That's been subverted, and Trump is dismantling it. Tens of thousands, I'll say it again, tens of thousands of deep staters are being removed from the government, sometimes with 30 minutes notice. And this is happening hour to hour. It's not a prediction. It's happening hour to hour. In fact, they're actually going to audit Fort Knox to see if there's any gold in there, or just a bunch of pretty pictures. So that's on the CIA. On Israel, we need to see a solution where the Palestinians from Gaza are scattered to the winds and de-radicalized and de-radicalized, and the Palestinian Authority is put asunder, and that means standing up to the EU and the corrupt UN. You'll have to schedule 2 more shows to discuss that. The third sphere is I need Trump to step up to the plate and pressure by means of tariff and other activity, monster anti-Semitism in Canada, South Africa, Australia, and many other places, so that we can not only say the Jews of Manhattan are safe to take the subway, but the Jews of Sydney and the Jews of Toronto are free to go to synagogue. Those will be the 3 spheres of judging him on the Jewish question. And everything else he's doing for the country is being applauded by an overwhelming majority of 60 to 70%. I understand that Francisco has knowledge, and the knowledge has burned, his temples. But the fact is, I'm not patient, and I'm not going to wait around. But what I'm seeing, hour to hour, proof in the pudding, tochas on tish, is that Trump is delivering for the Jews of the world, the Jews of the United States, and our chevra in Eretz Yisrael.
What would Trump have to do to convince me? Well, he would have to abolish the CIA. He needs to get rid of it. There should be, in my view, a constitutional amendment forbidding the spending of a single cent that is not fully auditable and immediately auditable. There should be no secrets, no secrets. The government is my government. It's my money they're spending. They shouldn't be able to keep any secrets from me. And the minute we allow that, that's when they start doing dirty stuff. Of course, they'll say that they need to do it to protect me. That's the excuse that every totalitarian always employs. But we should not believe that. We should never trust bureaucrats. We should always be very suspicious. Now, on Israel, what should Trump have to do in order to convince me? Well, he should support Israel winning the war. And that means liberating Gaza, liberating Lebanon, liberating Syria, liberating Iraq, liberating Iran, and getting Egypt the hell out of the Sinai. Okay, so all of those things would have to happen. Trump would have to support all of that for me to be convinced that he's interested in Israeli security, because nothing short of that will make Israel secure. And that includes, by the way, I was forgetting, we have to expel PLO Fatah from Israel. PLO Fatah has no business inside Israel. As Edwin Black has documented, to the benefit of all Western society, PLO Fatah has a pay-for-slay program, as they now call it, which is paying ordinary Palestinians whenever they kill Jews. Whenever any Arab Palestinian kills Jews, they get a lifetime salary from the Palestinian Authority, which means the economy of Arab Palestinians is structured around the Jews. Those people have no business in the Jewish state. They have to be completely expelled. And I see no sign that Trump intends to do that. In fact, in his first term, in Trump 1.0, he was pushing the Saudi peace plan for PLO Fatah to get its state in Judea and Samaria. And I see no sign that he's going to support the total expulsion of PLO Fatah from Israel. But if he does all of these things, if he abolishes the CIA, if he supports Israel winning the regional war against its enemies and liberates the Middle East from the yoke of the oppressive jihadists, to benefit not only the Jews, but all of the Arab Muslims living in that region, then that would convince me. That would convince me that I was wrong and that Edwin Black was right.